All right, perfect. And then I'm going to unmute Jessica here in just a second. Awesome. All right, you guys, welcome to Tuesday's call. Like I said, we're super excited to have the one and only Jessica on here today. I do want to take a minute and go over her accolades because they're pretty incredible. It is a long list, but there are some key points in there that I want to share with you guys. But just to start off, she's a 5-star diamond, 1-star in her husband's center, 2-star, diamond in her second CBC, and she's also a 3-time premier coach. She is a Success Club All-Star for 55 months, which is incredible. And she was able to retire from her full-time prison nursing job 2 years into coaching. Okay, I thought the coolest part about this was that she shared was that she was working 40 to 60 hours a week in the prison with her brand new baby as a brand new coach, yet she was still able to always hit Success Club. So if that right there doesn't tell you guys something, and I personally found her in the roundtable, which is where the 5-star and above coaches go for trainings and all the corporate stuff. But I saw this training that she did on how to master the invite, and I was like, I need her talking to all of us. So I immediately sent her a message, and I was like, girl, you got to do this call for us. So here she is. Jessica, go ahead and unmute yourself if you're not unmuted, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Oh my gosh, what an intro. Thank you so much. Also, total badass, 5 babies. Holy smokes. I have 3 and I don't know how. I don't even know how. That's amazing. What an honor to be speaking with you guys today, to be in this business together. We are all business partners, and one of the things that I love most about our company is that we really are in this to support each other. I learned so much from the other leaders in our 5 to 8-star mastermind group and from so many other people in Beachbody. So I'm really honored to be here, and I hope that this is helpful. I am going to share my screen here in a second because I want to share these bullet points with you. But my personality, I'm very much a solutions-oriented person. And so I've been doing this for 4.5 years. And when I see that I have a weakness or my team has a weakness or something they keep hitting their head against and like it's not working, instead of me saying, oh, I'm broken. Oh, I just don't know how to do that. I'm not good at that. That doesn't work for me. My team sucks at that. To me, it's like, okay, now that I've identified this is a weak area for us, let's do something about it. And I think that skill and that mindset in this business is one of the most powerful things that we can have, is identify what's not working for you and then figure it out and become a master of it. 2 years into coaching is when I realized I'm not attracting any business builders. I had gotten to 2-star, or maybe it was 3-star. I can't remember at 2 years in, but I basically was self-built. I did everything. And I'm like, well, why can't I attract business builders? Well, I wasn't ever talking about it. I wasn't ever talking about the business. And I felt insecure even about helping people who wanted to coach. I don't know if any of you can resonate with that. I felt insecure about it because I didn't really know if someone came to me and was like, hey, how do I make $500? I didn't really know what to tell them. I didn't know exactly how to break that down. So I decided that's a problem. I'm going to run into that fear of mine and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to become a master of it and I'm going to teach it. So now I have a plethora of YouTube videos because I just create videos. I just go on. If I don't know how to do something, then I'm like, this is what I need to teach. I need to figure out and I need to teach it. And that's where this kind of topic came from, was how do I master inviting? So many people are scared of it. And I don't understand why so many people are scared of inviting. We get I don't want to be salesy. What will people think? Blah, blah, blah. Well, we have to realize it's not about us, right? It's not about you. It's about the people that you're serving. And so I'm really excited to dive into this with you. That's kind of why I was like, we need to become a master of this. What do we need to know to become a master of this? So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I will, I'll send this document to you guys after so that you have it as well. But let me put it. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, cool. So from my brain, this is not like the end all be all, right? But from my brain, these are the six steps that we need to know to master the entire invite process, to go from interested to enrolled. And I'm going to spend the majority of time before we actually get to the verbiage of what to say in an invite, because it's the most important. Number one, you have to check your mindset and your belief in what we're doing. Because if you don't believe in what we're doing, nothing else is going to matter. Once you believe and you understand and it makes sense in your brain why what we have to offer is the best approach to holistic health and fitness from body, mind, and soul that is out there at the most affordable price. Once you can truly understand that, it's going to come oozing out of you. You're not going to have to try and force an invite. It's just going to come naturally. So here are a couple questions that I want you to ask yourself. Do you believe that what you're inviting to actually works? Now, let me tell you, if some of you are brand new, when I first started, I signed up 4 coaches within my first day after I signed up, and I had zero idea what I was doing. I hadn't gotten anything in the mail yet, but I was excited about what worked for someone else. My coach is Liz Hartkey. She's incredible, but she was a total stranger to me. We randomly connected on Facebook. I reached out to her because of her before and after pictures, and I was like, look, chick. I see your before and after pictures. I just had a baby. I don't have any time for anything because I'm working in a prison 40 to 60 hours a week, and I have a newborn at home and mom life and wife stuff and all that. But I see your results, and it's amazing. My background, I was a college athlete, and I did CrossFit, and I was very much the person that was like, at-home workouts don't work unless I'm sweating and killing myself. The exercise is a waste of time unless it gets to that point. And I was like, but I saw your results, and I saw you did it from home in 22 minutes a day. I want to do what you're doing. I want the whole thing. I'm a little bit familiar with Beachbody. I want the discount option that is the coach account, but I don't want anything to do with coaching because I don't have time. And she's like, okay, nice to meet you too, stranger. But she got me set up, and she just told me about the referral program, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay. My baby's screaming. I have a 3-month-old. She might be coming in here in a second. And I believed, look, if she could do this, she just had a baby, look at her abs. If she could do this from home in 20 minutes a day, then I can do it, and anyone else can do it. Because in life, if another human has done what you want to do, it is possible for you. And sometimes we cut ourselves short. But if someone else has done it, that means you can do it if you really want to, and you're willing to put in the effort and the work and the figure it outness, right? So I believed in her approach. I believed because I saw what she did. And as coaches, that's a part of our job, right? Is to be that belief for someone else. But you have to ask yourself, do you believe that what we're inviting to actually works? Number 2 question, do you believe that our approach is unique? So my background, I am a registered nurse. I have my bachelor's in nursing, and nursing school turned me into the most unhealthy, anxiety-ridden, digestive issue, burden, hormones, a mess version of myself because it's so stressful. I also played college softball at the same time. And I was just a mess, and no doctor could figure me out. They thought I had a brain tumor at 19 years old. They told me at 20 I had the estrogen levels of a 55-year-old woman. Every night in my dorm room, my belly would expand. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. I had horrible acid reflux, and I ate healthier than any of my friends in college, and I ran, and I was an athlete. So I started looking more into holistic health. I went to chiropractors and nutritionists and started learning a little bit more about how the body's connected, and that not everything is cured with a medication. Now, medication absolutely has its place, but I didn't feel better, and it didn't make sense to me that they were trying to fix me with a medication without getting to the root of why I was feeling the way I was. So I actually studied a ton in holistic medicine and got my certificate as a holistic health coach and worked with naturopathic practitioners and ended up over the years after I graduated creating other programs in holistic health to help people specifically with balancing their hormones and healing their gut health and living their best life, feeling their absolute best. So this question is very important to me because a lot of people piecemeal their health together. They'll get a supplement here and there. They'll try to take more vitamin C, or they'll go on a certain diet, or they'll try to kill themselves with exercise, and they're not getting the holistic approach. So our approach, we have 5 different elements that we offer people in one place as coaches. We have efficient fitness that fits into anyone's lifestyle, right? We know that. We've got hundreds of programs to work with, from bodybuilders to people who want to do running now, to people who only can work out in 10 minutes with 10-minute trainer, to yoga and no impact. Efficient fitness gets you results in a fraction of the time. We have intentional nutrition. This is different than clean eating. This is intention for the results that you want. You have Ultimate Portion Fix, which is based on a scientific equation. Will tell you exactly what you need to eat to get your results. And then you have To Be Mindset, which is also very intentional. It's healing our relationship with food. That's teaching you how to love yourself to weight loss, right? And how to nourish your body intentionally, like with correctly portioning our meals throughout the day. That's amazing. And people pay Alana like $300 a session for 30 minutes. She's booked out for 2 years. We have her. Like, that's insane. That's incredible. Get excited about that. We have 2 powerful intentional nutrition programs. We have very pure and powerful supplementation. Now, everyone's view on this is a little bit different, but here's mine. The fact is, our soils are depleted, our air is toxic, our water is toxic, we are all stressed the F out, people aren't getting enough sleep. Like, there's a lot fighting against our health. We need supplementation to help us feel our absolute best. Unfortunately, an organic apple is not the same as it was 100 years ago. You'd have to eat like 20 apples to get the same amount of nutrient density in an apple you would eat 100 years ago. And so we need that help to feel better, to combat this stress, to help support a digestive system from our nutrient depleted and toxic overload food supply. We need it with all the stress. This is not natural or normal or how it was intended, with the constant stress and stimulation that we have all the time. Even when you're sleeping, your phone's right next to you, and it's the electromagnetic radiation is constantly buzzing you. You're constantly stressed. So supplementation is really important. That's 3. 4, you have a coach. How many of you know that you can know all the things and have all the things, but if that Shakeology starts backing up in your pantry and you have 10 bags in your pantry, it's not going to make you feel any better. You have a coach to come and ask questions to. Have you ever read a book and you're like, oh man, has a lot of good information in it, and then you start to try and implement it, and then you have a question, or you're like, I just lost interest. Your coach is there to help you stay accountable and help answer your questions when you have them, and help you when you're having a hard time, and be there to lift you up, and all of that. That's included for free. When I was working before Beachbody, I had my own health coaching practice, and I used to charge $100 a session, and that's going rate for a health coach. So, and that was just for my time. So the fact that that's included is insane to me. And then the 5th component, which is so important, is the community. For those of you who've read James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks about integrating healthy habits and how your best chance of success is immersing yourself in an environment where the cultural norm are the habits that you are trying to integrate into your lifestyle. That is what our challenge groups should be. That is what our teams are about, is that accountability, that group where you're excited to stay consistent with your healthy habits. All 5 of those things is what you get with the challenge pack. That's what you get when you're inviting people to be a part of what you're doing. It is a very holistic approach to health and fitness, and that doesn't even touch on the mindset stuff, right? We all know that this is our most powerful tool for or against us in living our best life. So do you believe that our approach, that those 5 elements are unique? Because I guarantee you, someone goes to the gym, they're not going to get all 5 of those. Someone goes to a nutritionist, they're not going to get all 5 of those. Someone goes to GNC, they're not going to get all 5 of those. Someone buys a freaking protein powder, they're not going to get all of those, right? How many people object what we do because they're like, I already drink a protein, and I'm like, good for you. Like, that's not what this is about. So believe that what our approach is unique and why, and get freaking excited about it. Okay, third question. If people do this, how could their life benefit? When we get in our head about invites, it's because we're being self-focused. We're being self-centered. What will people think of me? It's not about you. It's about them. How could their life benefit? If they don't see and understand why what you're inviting to is so powerful, that's on you not being the example to them to show them why it's different, right? And so how could their life benefit? How many of you, your life has benefited in some way because of Beachbody, because of your team? Look around, right? People's lives have completely changed because of our approach. So it's selfish of you to not want to tell everyone and their mother and shout it from the mountaintops. Next question. If someone is successful in coaching, how could their life be impacted? How many of you, your life is better because of coaching? And maybe you're brand new, and maybe that's, maybe you haven't experienced that yet. But you got my life, like the trajectory of my kids' future is different because of coaching. And I had no desire to do this in the beginning. So what does that tell me? I need to be better about articulating the possibility of what coaching is, and I need to invite everybody to this, because how many kids would have a different life if I would just get over my own self and share this opportunity with other people and do it consistently and do it with enthusiasm and belief and excitement. See how, like, inviting, it's so much more than a script. It's what do you believe that you're inviting to? Do you recognize what is in front of you? Do you see what's possible, not only for yourself, but for the people that you're inviting and the generational impact that this could have on them? Do you believe that this is insanely affordable? How many people get price objections? If you get price objections all the time, most of the time it's because you think that this is expensive. I already told you, I used to charge $100 for a health coaching session that included nothing else but my time and my support. Especially in November, no excuse November, it's stupid how insanely inexpensive this is. I try not to use the word cheap because to me that portrays the quality. But what we're offering, it's ridiculous. I don't even understand how Beachbody makes money in November. It is crazy. And if you believe that, then you're going to share that with people. You're going to talk about it. You're going to do live videos. You're going to go through your entire phone and you're going to text message everyone and be like, you're not going to believe this. It's insane. $140 could get you everything that you need to feel the best version of yourself. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't afford it? Become a coach. Earn your money back. Like, that's crazy. You can't go into a GNC and say, I want these supplements. Can I work for 2 weeks and not give you any money? Like, you can't do that. This business is incredible. We have to invite people. We have to explain it because people just don't understand. Okay, how will this impact busy, exhausted, overweight, stressed out people? Think about that dynamic, because that's the majority of Americans, especially, even in the UK and even in Canada, but really in America. Like, we are always saying we're too busy. A lot of people are saying they're too tired. They're overweight. I think our obesity level it's so crazy right now. I think it's 1 in 3 kids is overweight, and like 1 in 2 Americans are overweight now. It's nuts. It is unacceptable. People are dying of lifestyle diseases because of this. We have a solution and have something to do about it. How many people are stressed out right now? There's like a little thing going on that's like changing the trajectory of the universe, the world, that's stressing people out just a little bit. And so I know that a lot of people have a hard time showing up in the social element that we're in. But to me, people need this more than ever. because I'm not going to change what's happening with the election. I did my part and I voted, but apart from that, I've still got to show up to be the best version of myself. And if I'm stressed out, I need those adaptogens from Shakeology. I need the endorphins from exercise. I need to learn how to naturally fuel myself and not stress eat a gallon of Ben and Jerry's, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to feel like shit. And I'm not going to be a good wife. I'm not going to be a good mom because I'm feeling crappy. So people need the community. They need the support. They need the tools that we have to offer. And then lastly, on this section, do you believe that asking someone to buy a challenge pack from you is selfish of you to ask them, or serving to the individual? And I put this in here mostly for new coaches because I see this in them, a hesitancy to tell someone that they should buy a challenge pack because they feel like, oh, I'm earning money. Well, yeah, everyone has to earn money. We all have to support ourselves. People don't shame you for going to get a job at Taco Bell because you're working hard, you're trying. Well, why do we feel weird about working in this element where we're helping people for a living and we can build a 7-figure income doing it? That is something to be proud about, not to shy away from. And I know not everyone struggles with that, but I know that there is a good chunk of coaches who don't reach out to people because they're like, I don't want to ask them to buy something from me. They're going to think I'm just selling something. It's not about you. It's about them, right? I love network marketing and I love the business model. And it's like there's more self-made millionaires in the world because of this business model than any other industry, which is something to pay attention to. But I could never do this if it was mascara. I couldn't do this. Even oils, I use them and I love them, but I couldn't do this for oils. I couldn't do this for makeup. I couldn't do this for shampoo. I am changing people's lives. It's having an impact on their kids. I am proud of that. And I am wholeheartedly in when I tell someone that they should buy a challenge pack, a deluxe challenge pack or a mega challenge pack. It's not about me, and I should earn money for the hard work that I do. It's about them. This is going to get them the biggest savings. This is going to get them the best results. And I know if they just do Beachbody On Demand, if they just get a tub of Energize, they're not going to get the results that they're looking for, and they might feel defeated and they might quit because they're not getting the holistic, comprehensive, total solution. That's my belief. And that's why I am telling people they should buy a challenge pack. I hope that helps with any kind of insecurities that some of you may be having when it comes to inviting. Okay, secondly, I want to talk really quickly about social media presence power. This is important. Again, I have a lot of my coaches who have reached out to me and like, I need to avoid social media because it's really toxic right now. And I understand. I understand that it's hard, and I understand that people are brutal right now, and I understand all of that. However, I want to share my perspective with social media. I do not go to social media to be fed. I do not go there to receive anything. I do not go there to scroll. I believe it is my responsibility to go there to be the light to other people, because the most anxious and fearful and depressed people in the world right now, guess what they're doing? Scrolling social media. And so what is the message that I feel like they need to hear right now? That's what I'm going to share. I'm going to go on there. I'm going to first fill my cup in the morning with my workout and my personal development and my inspiration. And then I'm like sitting sideways. Ugh. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to serve these people who need me to show up, because right now they don't know how to show up themselves. I'm going there for the exhausted mom. I'm going there for the stressed out woman who is fearful of the future. I'm going there for the people who are angry and tearing down other people, because deep down they hurt, and I need to help them see that and stop doing that. So I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to go talk to them in the third party, which is the easiest way to convey a message. And then I am going to go reach out to them one-on-one if they like my posts or whatever. Are you showing up in your journey even when it's hard? Because that gives you credibility. That builds trust. That is, like we talked about in the beginning, where people see if she's doing it, I can do it. I just moved from California to North Idaho with 3 little kids and a newborn, and we don't like my husband isn't working yet. He doesn't even really know what he wants to do, and that's okay because my Beachbody income is supporting us. But our life is in boxes, and people are like, "You're crazy! Like, how could you do it?" But I have had like 10 families put their house on the market because we did it, and they're like, "You know what? In the craziness that you have going on, we realize that if you guys could do it, that we could do it too." So being brave and showing up when it's hard gives people courage to do what they know they should be doing, or they know that they want to do, but they just haven't had the belief in themselves to do it. So it's important, I think, and it's incredible platform on social media to show up and show people what it's like when it's hard. Show people what your routine is like. I wake up every morning at 4:30 and I show that in my Instagram stories. I drink my muscle margarita, energize and hydrate and bevy and collagen. I drink that. I do a power green shot, and I work out with my accountability partner at 4:45 while listening to someone who's gonna jack up my brain in the best way, like Les Brown or Eric Thomas is my new favorite, or Zig Ziglar, and I'm feeding my brain. And I get off and I'm like, I'm gonna change the world today. I'm gonna do a live video. People need to know about it, right? And I'm showing up, and then I'm drinking my shake and my recover, and I'm telling them why. And then I'm showing up with my kids at home. Like, how do I run a business from home with 3 little kids who aren't in school yet? We're snowed in. Like, it's beautiful, but there's snow all around me. So I'm going to show how I make Shakeology hot chocolate because hello, right? And we're going to put little organic, I almost said mushrooms. That would be gross. Marshmallows on top. And that's me being a mom and working and showing up in my fitness and filling my cup so it's not completely drained at the end of the day. And I'm going to show me on this call because that's the beauty of what we get to do. And when you show up consistently, people are going to want your fire. They're going to want your spark because they're not going to have it. And when you send that invite, all of us, people are going to trust you more because they're like, I've seen you. I've seen you showing up, and I've been too afraid to reach out. I didn't think that I could do it. But since you're inviting me, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to try. And your invites go so much further when you are showing up, that you have that credibility and consistency. Do people know why you're doing this? Do you show up every day and just show a picture of your face and your Shakeology? Or do they understand that I'm a better mom when I drink Shakeology? I drink this because it really helps with my digestion that I used to struggle with for forever. I drink this because it really helps with my energy and my cravings. I notice if I skip a day, I really notice that my energy is in the tank around 3 o'clock. And maybe you don't understand why, and that's totally fine. You just know it works. And you tell people that. Why do you show up in your workouts? Why do you work out at home versus working out at the gym? Think about the objections that you had before. Talk about them. What have you learned since you started? Do they know why it's helped you? And again, if you're brand new and you have not received anything in the mail yet, this still works for you. Why did you decide to do it? What were you insecure about? Why are you excited? What are the results that other people have gotten on the team that you're joining? And just remembering again, and I'm going to say this over and over again, it's not about you. It's not about your insecurities. It's not about if you're scared to do a live video. Because, and the other coaches who've been around for a while can attest to this, I've heard at Summit and so many of the other events that I've been at, there were people that were on the brink of ending their life and they didn't because of a Beachbody coach. And not being dramatic, people like anxiety, depression, and suicide are skyrocketing, not only because of COVID, but we're going into the holiday season where every year it goes up. You have the opportunity to speak hope into somebody's life. And maybe that's doing a live video that terrifies you. I will never forget my first one. I was sitting in my living room with my laptop. It was cold and I was drenched in sweaty pits. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, and I don't have a problem like talking, as you guys can tell, but I was so nervous. And I'm like, okay, I've got to do these all the time until I get really good at them. And now I freaking love that. I would speak to 100,000 people in a crowd if I could, because I have a passion for it. So remember that inviting is not about you. Showing up on social media, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about your circle of influence and the people who really need you to show up right now. Okay, the invite, the tactical. Notice all of it was on your mindset and your belief right before. Okay, so the invite. Here are a couple, and again, I'll send this to you. This needs to sound like you. Please do not use an invite script that does not sound like you, because you're just gonna sound like a jackass, and people are gonna be like, "Who was that?" Like, you're not gonna send your mom a text that's like, "Oh, hey girl, so I'm doing this thing, and I wanted to know if you wanted to do it with me," and they'll be like, "What?" Like, what? And that has happened before. People have sent me like, "Hey," underlined, like a copy and pasted, "Hey," underlined, blah, blah, blah. "Do you want to buy my XYZ?" And I'm like, oh man, okay. So make sure this sounds like you. And so here are some examples of what you can say to a close family member or friend. Remember, talk to people how you would talk to people at a grocery store. Don't get weird. So, like, I would tell my mom, and I did, and she signed up as a coach because I told her to. I was like, you can say, "Mom, I'm doing this 21-day program, and I really want you to do it with me. I feel amazing, and I know that you would too. Plus, I have a $10 off promo code that they sent me to give family and friends. What do you think?" So if you're a new coach, you have that $10 off promo code. This month, you could swap that out. If you're not a new coach, and say $20 off everything, I have a $20 off promo, whatever. Like, let's do this together starting tomorrow. And send it out. Here's the thing. Here's my opinion on copy and paste invites. If I'm going to say the same exact thing, and I learned this from Kay Schultes, if I'm going to say the same exact thing to all the people that I talk to, what's the point of me typing it all out? I would say this same message to every family member of mine and to all of my close friends. I'll change their name, or I may ask how they're doing, but it's pretty much the same. So it's more about efficiency to me. And then here is an invite from a post that you made on social media. Again, going back to, if you post consistently on social media, you'll always have something to invite from. So anyone who likes your post about nutrition, you can say, "Hey friend, thanks so much for your support on my post about nutrition yesterday. I tell you, this whole nutrition, fitness, accountability from home thing has been a game changer for me. In the midst of this crazy life, I'm actually feeling pretty amazing. It's even more fun to do with friends. Have you ever thought about trying it yourself? I really think you'd love it. Would you mind if I send you some more info about the virtual boot camps I run? Either way, thanks. I appreciate you. Have the best day." To me, if someone sent that to me, I would appreciate it. And I would say, "Yeah, no problem." Or, "Yeah, I love some more information. And I like this ending. Would you mind if I send you some more information?" rather than, "Would you be interested?" I think I heard this. I heard this from a couple of people, but I know Danny uses it, and it was such a great like twist on words. So much about talking with people is psychological. When you ask someone if they're interested, a lot of times they feel like they're committing when they're like, "Yeah, I'm interested," and they feel like you're going to be like a vulture or like a piranha, and you're never going to let go because you said they said they're interested. And so giving them an out is really helpful, and asking them, "Can I send you some more info?" is really helpful. And I'm going to get to the next part of what to say when they're like, "Yeah, you can send me more info," because that is usually what catches people up too. Here's an example of inviting to coaching from a challenge group. I don't know if anyone's name is Gwenda in here, but Gwenda is like my sample name that I use for everything, because why not? So if you're going to invite to coaching from one of your challenge groups, "Gwenda, you're killing it in our challenge group." Obviously, hopefully this person is showing up a little bit when you're telling them this, right? "Thank you for the energy and encouragement you bring to everyone on the daily, and your results so amazing. This is my favorite part about what I get to do as a coach. Speaking of, have you thought any more about coaching yourself? You're already doing the vital behaviors of a coach. You're just not getting paid for it. I'd love to set up a time and chat with you about how you can help others feel amazing like you are, stay consistent on your own journey, and get paid for it. What do you think?" Genuine, right? And then there's a sample of inviting to coaching from social. If you find someone that you're like, "You know what, they would be really amazing at this." Don't invite people who would not be good at this. Like, not cold invite, because that just makes you look dumb. Because if they have 2 posts and none of their face, and they only have 2 pictures of like the trees, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you would be such a good Beachbody coach," they're gonna be like, "Who are you?" Like, that would be so bad, right? So just pay attention to who you're talking to. Okay, so what to do when they do say yes, or if they say no. So many people are scared of the no, but don't be. Like, really, did you die? You didn't die. Okay, what to do when people say no? Still add value to them. So have something prepared. If they're like, no thanks, I'm good, tell them, okay, no problem. Thanks again for your support. Just in case you're a taco lover like me, haha, I wanted to share this awesome resource I found with 10 healthy taco recipes. Let me know if you end up trying one. Have an amazing day. And I just linked something from the Beachbody On Demand blog. There's other like casserole recipes or crock pot recipes, something that resonates with you. Use something like that and have a gift that you're giving them, even when they say no, because it makes you look more genuine and you're adding value to people's lives. At the end of the day, whether you send 100 invites and nobody joins you, you want their life, their day to be better because they talk to you, because you're adding value to them, to their lives. And that's just about being a good human. And when you want to be a good human and you genuinely want to make people's lives better, you're going to be a great coach. I promise you. But if you're only in it just for the SC points or just for the sale, you will fizzle very quickly and you're not going to be good at this. Okay, what to say when they want more info. So for new coaches, I kind of tweaked this because you want to keep things as simple as possible and you don't know much yet, and it's really tempting to word vomit, right? So here is just an example. I know it's still a paragraph, but your goal is to get them signed up how you did. That's just keeping it simple. If you signed up with the MBF Challenge Pack, sign them up with an MBF Challenge Pack, and you're just telling them, awesome, I'm so excited about this. This is, here, I'll just read this. I actually just started this and barely got my stuff in the mail, so I'm still learning. Be honest. Don't pretend like you know everything, because you don't. But I'll show you what I got set up with, because it really looks like the absolute best deal, and I love it includes everything. Everything I'll need to get great results. It's called a challenge pack. And then I just kind of like bullet point what it includes. Side note, I highly recommend voice memos instead of writing this out. I highly, highly recommend, if you're texting or Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger, record yourself talking. It is way less intimidating and more personal when you do that. So it includes a full year of online workouts, plus equipment and access to the newest VIP program just launched, lifetime access to 2 premium nutrition programs, a month's supply of a nutrition pack, superfood shake that helps with digestion, hormones, stress, energy, and more. Plus you get access, there's a typo, with me. Oh, you get access with me to this virtual boot camp that has a tracking app and everything. You also get me as your coach, me and my coach. I put that in for my people. You get me and my coach as your coach to support you along the way. Awesome, right? So that's what I definitely recommend for you too. If you send me your email and flavor of Shakeology you'd like to try, I can set it up for you and send it over for you to check out. And that's where you do share a cart. This is similar. After your first like 3 people you get signed up, here's a slightly different approach that you can kind of look through on your own, but it really turns into asking people questions. I'm a huge believer that as you get more seasoned in this, you should be asking questions before you're making recommendations. That's just makes you look more professional in anything. How do you make a professional recommendation when you don't really know what someone wants? For example, you could be setting someone up with a 3-day refresh or the ultimate reset, thinking they want to lose weight and they want to gain weight, right? You could be telling them like, Shakeology is going to help you lose weight. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this then because I actually need to gain 10 pounds of muscle. So asking questions is really important. I put in here, I have a Google form that I use, and I send when people are interested in working with me, I usually tell them, awesome, I'm really excited to get to know you more, and for the potential of working with you. Do me a favor, will you fill out this quick form, and when you're done, I'll put together a custom recommendation for you based on what you share with me. If you're not a Google form kind of person, that's fine. Ask some questions, such as, if failure was off the table 90 days from now, what does your best self look like? Now notice, this question is very different than, what are your goals? Because when you ask them like this, if failure's off the table 90 days from now, that's specific, what does the best version of yourself look like? It puts them in the mindset of, I'm successful. If I'm successful, then, well, if failure's off the table, of course, I would want to X, Y, and Z. I want to lose 20 pounds. And then if someone just makes it about weight loss, I say, okay, awesome. That's fantastic. What about your energy levels? What about your mood? What about your confidence? How's your digestion? And in doing so, I am increasing the value I have to offer by helping them identify what their problem areas are. And once you identify what their problem areas are, oh gosh, what's the word? You can show them the solution that's specific to what they need. And that is very, very powerful in increasing the value and not just saying, buy this for 160 bucks. So you can check out my Google form and copy it if you want to. Just have some sort of process where you're asking questions before you're giving recommendations. The other question that I really like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting on my bed and my legs are falling asleep. Okay, the other question that I really like is what have been your biggest barriers to being successful? Because when you're asking that, people are going to tell you, oh, I have 5 children, or oh, I work full time and I have no support at home. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to eat. I don't eat breakfast and then I get super hungry. And so I eat a whole pizza every day for lunch. Like, whatever. When they're telling you time is a barrier to success for me, then I'm not going to set them up with 80-day obsession, because the workouts are an hour long. So in identifying these things, you are a better coach because you're making better recommendations to help them be successful. Because in the end, that's what we want, right? Okay. And then here's, just have something written up too about coaching. If people want to learn more about coaching, awesome. Here's a quick video about coaching that you have set up or your upline has set up. And then we're almost done, I promise. Tracking. I made this huge mistake in the beginning, and I've seen other coaches make this huge mistake in the beginning. Write down every name that you invite. That is my personal recommendation. I have a notebook. I think it's right here. I am really old school, and I've tried so hard to use things that are electric. All right, I sounded 80 years old. I tried to use trackers like Teamzy or like Streak, and at the end of the day, I know myself and I don't go back to update them. And so I think they're amazing, but I also know myself. So here's a very simple approach if you're in the same category as me. This is a notebook with a pen. I folded the paper in half, and I've got a column for Instagram and a column for Facebook. And I number them down the page. So this is like 33 on each side. And I write down when I send an invite, I write who it was. I created a system in my brain that makes sense. So if they answer me, I do a check mark. If they filled out my form, I put an F. If I follow up with them, I do a heart. Don't ask me why I do these things. And then I have a highlighter that if they sign up as a coach, I'll highlight it in yellow. If they sign up as a customer, I'll highlight it in pink. That way I know who to go back to. And then I'll eventually like put dates, like I followed up with them 10:30, 11:02, 11:04, and so on and so forth. So have something where you're tracking. Otherwise, you're going to lose people. Follow up is everything. We all have heard and know fortune is in the follow up, but it means that you care. If you didn't care about people, then you wouldn't follow up with them. Everyone gets in their head about following up thinking, I don't want to bug them. It's not about you, Gwenda. It's about the people that you're serving. And if how many of you were like reading a message and your kid tackled you and your phone went flying and you totally forgot, but you really wanted to do that and you totally forgot? Well, it's on us to follow up. Hey, Mary, I saw that you saw my message. I know life is crazy. I'm sorry I haven't followed up with you sooner, but I'm really excited about this for you. I wanted to check in and see if you're still interested in working together. It's not scary. Like, you will not die if they ghost you. It shows that you care, even if you have to follow up 7 times. I have followed up with people for a year, and then they're like, okay, I'm ready. And you know what they tell me? It's not, you really were annoying. It's, thank you so much for not giving up on me. I was going through a lot, and I just didn't have it in me to even answer you because I was embarrassed. Thank you so much for not giving up on me. It shows that you care when you follow up with people. If you were just in this for the sale, then you would just move on. and keep inviting. But we're Beachbody coaches, and we care about the people that we work with. We care about the people we're on social with, unless they're a bunch of trolls, and then they need to be blocked. But we genuinely care about the people we're inviting. And so follow up like you care. Put it on you if you haven't invited in a long, or if you haven't followed up in a long time. Follow up with a Beachbody On Demand recipe and be like, hey, not sure if you can use this. And research has shown it takes 7 to 10 times before people make a decision. So don't expect people to answer you on the first invite. Otherwise, you'll be setting yourselves up for an unrealistic expectation. Okay, that's all I have. You guys have any questions for me? I need to look in the chat.
No questions? Anybody want to raise their hand? I can unmute you guys. No? Jessica, that was awesome. I want to just say, you guys, after some of the stuff that Jessica said, we have the sale price of $140 this month. You guys should be over inviting in November. If you're passionate, you believe about what we're doing and what we're sharing and what we have to offer, just like Jessica mentioned, over invite. If you're not at Success Club right now, start over inviting. It's $140. It's ridiculous, right? And then the thing that stood out the most to me was go to your social today and be the light, especially right now. It's so true. People are struggling so hard right now. Just go and be the light and go invite. Jessica, do you want to end anything else? Say anything else?
I think that's it. I think, just recognizing, you guys, that people need us now more than ever. And I did a live video yesterday that you can go watch. I've kind of been like, you can tell I'm a little bit passionate about this kind of stuff. And when life is hard, that's when we are called to level up and lean into it and make your struggle your superpower. If you're struggling with something in your business, figure out how to be a professor of that thing that you're struggling with. If you're struggling with time management, learn how to be the boss of time management. And when you do that, teach people along the way, and you're going to step up into leadership, and you're going to step up in leadership in that. And people need more leaders to follow, because they're following the wrong people right now. They're following a lot of lies that are out there right now. I used to have my challengers look in the mirror every morning and say, I'm a badass 10 times, looking into their eyes. And if you need to do that, then you need to do that. But you have to make a decision today if you really want to be a difference maker in people's lives. And there is no better platform for us to do that and still have our families and have time freedom and location freedom and all of those things. What we have is seriously like a golden nugget at the end of the rainbow if we choose to tap into it. And if you're not successful in this, you have no one to blame but yourself, because there's so many trainings, there's so many people to support you. You have an incredible coach, you have YouTube and the Google. Like, that's literally all you need to be successful. You just have to believe in yourself. No one else can do that for you.
Amen to that. YouTube and the Google. All right, you guys, I will upload this to YouTube, and then all of the scripts and everything that she went over, I will put those in the description link of the YouTube video, so it'll all be there in one spot for you guys. So awesome. Thanks for showing up today, you guys. We had 48 at total. This was awesome. So we'll end December in an awesome way this year. All right, you guys.
Oh, if you guys want to tag me too on Instagram, it's health_patriot. I would love to hear your takeaways and see you guys being a light out there. It'd be awesome. I will reshare.
Perfect, honey. Thank you so much, Jessica. You rock. We love you. All right, guys. Have an awesome Tuesday, awesome week, and let's end this year with a bang. Bye, guys.